Welcome to OPW Live's Match of the Week. My name is Chris from OPW Live. That is James from OPW Live. And today we're going to talk about our Match of the Week for this week in January, the third week of January. And that is NXT's Fight Pit. Hey, Alex, can you roll our intro? So, James, Fight Pit. Fight Pit, we watched it last night. Well, you watched it last night. I would have watched it this morning, or whatever the time of recording was. What did you think about Fight Pit? We chose this as the first match of the week, and I think it's very deserving. I thought it was an excellent match, but what did you think about it?
I liked it. I liked the presentation. You had that big fight feel to it. You had you had like the tail of the tape.
They did the weigh-in.
They did the weigh. They did they did a weigh-in. They had the tail of the tape. And then you had this big match feel to it, and you just felt, that these guys are just, are gonna just, mess each other up.
Yeah, it was definitely the biggest match of the week.
Yeah.
Across all 4, 5, 6 shows. Wow, with Impact, it's like 6 shows this week. The thing is, I actually didn't see the first Fight Pit. So when Thatcher and Matt Riddle did it a couple months ago. So this was like brand new to me. Like I never ended up watching it back for whatever reason. I think actually the first Fight Pit was that time I was on vacation.
Yeah, I think it was.
If I recall correctly, because then Matt Riddle came out to the main roster afterwards. So this was like my first experience of the Fight Pit, and so they walk up these ominous stairs.
Yeah.
And then hilariously they have like the regular ring stairs at the top, which I thought was funny. So I was confused when they were both all standing up on the rafters and they started the match up there. And I thought, that was cool with the trying to throw them outside the Fight Pit using the railings and stuff. I'll say the one thing I did miss, and I was pretty disappointed, is that they transitioned from being on top of the Fight Pit to in the Fight Pit during the commercial. And so like that was the one thing that missed the mark for me.
Yeah, I don't think that was a good
Now,
decision.
it may have happened like picture in picture, in which case I don't get that on Hulu, unfortunately.
No.
Because I know NXT will do that with big matches. They'll do picture in picture the same way that AEW does big matches.
Yeah, I don't like that. That's the one thing I don't like is I don't like that. Why would you? This is the one time where it's the main event. Get all the advertisement, get all the commercials and everything out of the way, and just have this go uninterrupted.
Because I bring this up because when they went to commercial, and I'm like, man, I can't wait to see how they get into the Fight Pit because they spent the whole time fighting on top of it, and then they come back and they're like doing a choke in the Fight Pit. I'm like, did someone get thrown down? Did they climb down? That was the only thing that missed the mark for me. But other than that, like, I really appreciate the brutality of it, not having ring ropes, and so they really went at it. How about that spot? Where Ciampa knocked down Thatcher. The referee went down to check him, and so Thatcher got up and was like, "Come on, come on," and then Ciampa pulls him and uses the referee in place of like the ring ropes for Willow's Bell for a DDT.
Yes,
I thought, man, that's magnificent.
Beautiful. That was a brilliant spot. It was a great use of what was in front of him, like that. And the reason why I liked it because it was different. This is we always see
Yeah, I mean it's so visually different. Like it
feels different. It feels like we're watching something different, and that's what we want sometimes. We want to see some things different. We see the same thing every day, every show. Throw some different like this. Like this is different. Now you don't do this all the time. You don't have to do this all the time, but this seems special. These two guys don't like each other.
I'll tell you, as someone who didn't really see the first Fight Pit, when they described the Fight Pit, I'm thinking, oh man, it's just gonna be a steel cage without ropes, right? Like you thought that before they did the first time, I'm sure. Like, and a lot of fans probably.
It reminded me, when I first started, it reminded me more of when you had and we're going back, Owen Hart versus Ken Shamrock in the Lion's Den. Kind of reminded me of that. But that was a circle. That was kind of like a circle. It was.
But like that's what I thought this was. It was going to be literally just a steel cage match without any ring ropes, and the turnbuckles would be there. But instead, they had this. It wasn't even like in the standard ring. They had this new structure. Like, man, that is awesome. Like it didn't fit around the existing ring. They had a separate ring for it. So yeah, that's pretty special. And I like special matches. Like but this is just something different. I
You
think.
felt, you know what? I think, and I hate to say it, and I wish they had done this. This probably felt like it should have been on the takeover, but then
Yeah.
that wouldn't have worked. But that wouldn't have worked because
Well, it was going to be on
of
New
the
Year's
double
Evil,
ring.
but there was issues.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah, he had injured. But and I think that would have, you know, honestly, if this happened on New Year's Evil, I think it would have took New Year's Evil over the top.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
but yeah, this felt like this should have been on the pay per view and everything like that, and not pay per view takeover. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, take over.
But
But I mean, well, fantastic main event.
oh yeah,
And how about the finish? So it was something that I don't know if I was expecting it because this is supposed to be Thatcher's signature match, so he should win. But seeing like tough guy Ciampa tap out was just
well, you can't really put it against him the way it was said because he put his leg in the thing.
right. They put his
Put
leg
his
through the
leg,
thing, and it was a
put his leg
great
in the
submission.
thing,
And I guess this is another thing
and he
I'm starting to really appreciate about Timothy Thatcher is he doesn't really have a finisher. He just works on something and then gets this crazy excruciating submission, and all of a sudden the match is over.
yeah.
Like I don't know what his finisher is, and I'm okay with that. Like if his
I know.
finisher is I'm just gonna put you in the craziest fucking submission I can think of.
I
love it.
haven't seen him do a signature submission. I mean, if he does, but he always seems to do something different.
Yeah,
What
and I
works
really
for
like
the
that. And
time.
I think it's such a contrast, like because Ciampa went for Willow's Bell and Fairy Tale Ending during the match, like
Yeah,
and then they did so this is a match that has a last man can standing component and also a tap out component, so you can either tap him out or knock him out.
yeah.
So
Which
we
works
saw
again.
Ciampa go for his conventional finishes, but then Timothy Thatcher just had him in like a stretch muffler using the corner of the fight
using the
pit,
cage.
and suddenly the match was over. And I'm like, wow,
Well,
because I don't. What's exciting about Timothy Thatcher is I don't know when the match is going to end if he's going to win, because he doesn't have a finisher as far as I know. And maybe I'm wrong, and people are going to roast us in the comments. No, Timothy Thatcher's finisher is actually.
It probably. I mean, I haven't.
Like, that's how it's presented to me as a wrestling fan.
No, I think he does have a finisher. I just can't remember. Because I don't remember what it was, but he doesn't have a set one. Because I'll be true for the match of it. This is really like his what?
But I've seen him choke people out. I've seen him do like an armbar to win matches. Like
yeah, and then, like I said, it doesn't hurt Ciampa in any way because one, Ciampa also has histories of knee problems.
Mm-hmm.
So he's putting his leg in there and doing the stretch muffler thing, and Ciampa tapping out makes sense because he does have a history of knee problems. And by doing that, he's putting pressure on the knee, and Ciampa, he's a tough guy, but hey, you know what? You can only take so much pain.
Yeah.
Like that.
All right. So here's the bottom line then. Let's wrap this up.
Mm-hmm.
We have our own rating system. It's called the Smark system. So 1 out of 5 Smarks. What do you give this match?
I give it 4 Smarks. I really do. I think it was fantastic. The only thing is not nothing to do with the match. I think it's more of the technical presentation and everything about the commercial break and everything during that. As that might be the only bad thing to say about it. Overall, I say 4 out of 5.
I for the same reasons I'm gonna do my rating, but I still think it's like a match worth gushing over. So 4.5 Smarks out of 5. All right.
Nothing wrong with that.
But anyway, thank you all for joining us for OPW Live's Match of the Week. I was Chris from OPW Live. That's James from OPW Live. Alex, play our outro.